Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be going over how you're going to be able to do special trades on Sunday that are going to be giving you some bonuses. Now, on my last video, somebody did ask me what are the best Pokemon to trade for Lucky, and in this video we're going to be going over that. We're going to be taking a look at what I have piled up, as well as some suggestions that I may not have, and just discussing it all in general. So with that said, let's go ahead and hop into this, as it is going to kind of follow up to the last video that we did make talking about global trading and how we're getting closer to that. So with that said, let's go ahead and see what we have going on here. So this is going to be going down through September 7th until November 30th. So this is going to be happening every single Sunday. You're going to be able to get an extra special trade. That is going to be for a total of 2 special trades every Sunday. The bonuses that you're going to see is 1 additional special trade, an increased chance of Pokemon to become lucky when you do trade. This is, of course, if you're this is really dumb. I don't need to state this, but obviously if you're not lucky, so you'll have a higher chance for them to become lucky then. 10% Stardust cost reduction, and then earn 2 Rare Candy XL. So if you're looking for a particular Pokemon aside from some sort of a legendary or mythical that you can continuously trade, then you may want to start stockpiling specific Pokemon that you need a bunch of XL candies for, right? But with that said, let's go ahead and hop into this here and see what we have going on. So this is going to, I would assume, be a lead up to the global trading that we're going to be getting soon. And they're giving us this nice little bonus. As far as when we're going to be getting global trading, I would assume sometime between like in October to December, something like that, before the year ends. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this video up right about now. Let's go ahead and look at my top tier Pokemon. Now, when it comes to what Pokemon do you want technically lucky, let's go ahead and skip over PvP for the most part. Obviously, you want things that are going to be the strongest in their class, right? Simple as that. Maybe you have a particular preference, but we're gonna go ahead and focus on strong Pokemon. So of course, Zacian. You want a Zacian, really good one, all right? You definitely want to go for that. I'm not saying it's number 1, but it's definitely top on the list, as it is the highest combat power, as we're just going to go down here, and then we'll look at a few other things. Of course, Mewtwo as well. That's going to also be a great one. Legacy, Size Strike, and Shadow Ball, and I do believe Hyper Beam is Legacy too now, but obviously you do not need Hyper Beam. Let's go ahead and just look at my 100% really quick here. Just kind of going over, you know, my top tier Pokemon. I'm not going to focus on the 100s too much. We're going to actually look up Lucky, so you can see all of the Lucky Pokemon that I did get, as well as the IVs that I do kind of run into here. Funny enough, I usually get a lot of 100s from my son's account, which is crazy whenever we do trades. So as you can see here, top tier Pokemon are what you're going to want to focus on, the strongest of the strong, okay? And you got to also remember, when you do a lucky trade, you have a chance for the IVs to become good. That doesn't mean it's really going to be. Now, we were discussing this before, but Palkia Origin and Dialga Origin are going to be high trade content Pokemon for sure. You want those signature moves, and if they're shiny, obviously that's going to make them that much better. Unfortunately, I do not have a shiny Origin Palkia powered up, but that's okay. I have plenty of good ones that I could, but I already went with this one, so we're stuck here. Garchomp is also going to be another fantastic one, especially after its new move, Breaking Swipe. It is absolutely a beast, so you may want to go for that one, but there's going to be so many more. Let's go ahead and look at all of my lucky Pokemon here, or at least the top tier ones. So we already seen these. We got Yveltal here as well, a shiny Mewtwo that I haven't powered up, Giratina, great ghost type attacker, Kyogre, original Dialga. We're going to see multiple repeats throughout this whole thing here. And of course, Rayquaza. I have this Shundo Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is amazing, but Rayquaza shiny is definitely going to be high on the tier for trading. Metagross. And we're going to discuss one of the most important things that you're going to want to power up, and that is going to be Gigantamax and Dynamax. Because you don't want to power up something that has a Gigantamax or Dynamax form, and then you power that up, and then you got to make a whole nother one. I know it's such a pain in the ass. So we'll talk about that. We're going to look at that, and that is going to be the main highlight of this video. Is you want to use these traits for Dynamax and Gigantamax, okay? Armor Mewtwo. I understand a lot of people are looking for Armor Mewtwo because I haven't bring it back in a long time. I've got a couple left. I've been giving them away, but you may want to go for that, as it is going to be extremely rare, and having one maxed out will be crazy. So Lucario, definitely high up on the list as well. Most of these Pokemon are. Some of them are definitely skippable, like the Tangrowth and the Roserade, Yamega, Pinsir. These are just what I have. Now we're going to go ahead and just back out here. We're going to go, what are we going to do? We're going to look at the Shundo again one more time. Okay, that one, yeah, I had to brag, you know. This thing is my pride and joy. I absolutely love that. Now we're going to go ahead and go into Dynamax, all right? So this is where it's at. This is where you want to make all the trades. When people are like, what do you want? I always say Dynamax or Gigantamax. Metagross, absolutely #1 for Dynamax. And then you also have Latios. Definitely pretty good. Excadrill, absolutely top tier, okay? Raikou, maybe. When it comes to Dynamax Charizard, it does have a flying quick move, so you can utilize that in different ways, as well as even Dragon, so you may want to even consider that. So you do have that on the table. I personally have no regrets for powering this up. It's nearly it's 100 basically, and I can use it for that flying. I did go with this Amistar. I know, horrible IVs, whatever. It's a great rock type attacker for Dynamax and Gigantamax raids, as it is going to be for a while. Blissey, for sure, you want to make one of these. I personally don't use them in the raids myself, or Dynamax raids, max battles, but if you're kind of lower on the powered up Pokemon, this could definitely be a great option for you, as it will help you stay in the battle at least, and kind of give a little bit of support while you're in there if you do not have a bunch of like counter Pokemon to power up. Inteleon is definitely going to be something to power up, but here's the thing. If they have a Dynamax form and also a Gigantamax form, you do not want to power up the Dynamax form, okay? It's as simple as that. I mean, I made a mistake and I made that XL and I used it a handful of times. Cinderace is going to be your #1 fire type attacker for now. We'll go over that. I have this Dynamax Blastoise with rollout, and I maxed it out basically because it does have that rock quick move, which is going to convert into the charge move, and it's going to be doing a lot of damage. Now when it comes to the Gigantamax Blastoise, this is the exception, okay? I rather power up the Dynamax form. And then you also have this one here, Urshifu, Cubfu. You could trade this and you could get a better one. I'm not touching it because we're going to get Gigantamax in the future. If you have a good one and you want to power it up, have fun with that. Have fun with that lucky trade. Articuno, skippable. We already went over Latios. What about Latias? You could make that investment if you had a good one, I suppose. It's going to be pretty tanky in there. I do have a shiny as well for both of them, which is pretty nice. I do not have any plans of powering those shinies up. I'm going with the Latios, that's it. You have the Dynamax Gengar. Don't power that up. Go for the Gigantamax. Don't do it. Zapdos. Not really worth it, honestly. Entei, though? Entei, on the other hand, could be a great investment as far as a fire type attacker, as it is going to be doing pretty good. These are Dynamax we're focusing on right now, okay? So keep that in mind. Remember, Cubfu, you can trade that, so it's on the list for trading, so you can potentially get a better one. I have horrible ones, and I'm up to trade mine if you were down, okay? Let's look at Gigantamax, all right? Now, this is where it's at. These are your top tier Pokemon that you're going to be wanting to trade. That's it. Personally, for me, that's what I think moving forward. Machamp, not #1, it's just on the top here. Definitely you're going to be on your top tier priority list for trading. Absolutely Gengar too. What a king. Pretty much almost all these Gigantamax are going to be tradable, or at least something you want. Charizard, absolutely. Behind on Cinderace, but it is also going to be flying and fire, and it is going to be able to potentially resist even better. You have another Gengar here. You know, because it's so good. Now, Snorlax is an interesting one. This is going to be good for those ghost type raids because you're normal and you have Lick, okay? Yes, your charge move is going to be normal, so you're not going to be able to do anything there, but at least you'll be able to absorb ghost moves potentially, okay? So Snorlax could be a great option, but you also do have Blissey if you think about that. Now, Kingler is going to be an absolute monster as far as water type attackers. You definitely want one of these. I know it may hurt to max one out, but son of a gun hits like a truck when it comes to water moves. Venusaur is going to be behind on Rillaboom's Gigantamax. Rillaboom doesn't have Frenzy Plant. Doesn't really matter too much. But I just feel like I'm a Venusaur fan, okay? I'm a Gigantamax. That's my damn logo. You can go with Rillaboom, though, just giving you a heads up, it does more damage. Venusaur is pretty tanky, though. Then we do have this one here, Toxtricity. Absolutely amazing. You definitely want this. Do not go with Dynamax. Go with the Gigantamax always, okay? And then we do have Gigantamax Lapras, great ice-type attacker with some great bulk as well. It's a good option, okay? Whenever we get anything that's weak to ice, this thing's going to be coming in clutch. What about Articuno? You can use that if you want. Go for it. Have fun with it all day, okay? Moving it along here, I think we're gonna. I want a shine. I really want to bottle cap this shiny Venusaur Gigantamax. I really do. I really do, because I love the color. It looks amazing. I just love Gigantamax Venusaur. I wish I could walk around with it or have it as my buddy. All right, we discussed Blastoise. It's not the best around. It does have bulk. It could be hitting hard for water, I guess, ish, but I feel like Dynamax Blastoise is better in this case. The exception, Rillaboom, again, is going to be doing more than Venusaur as far as attack is concerned, so you do have that option. Personally, not going for it, but Rillaboom definitely good. So there are those options for now. Don't worry about Butterfree. Come on, okay? You don't want to do that. All right, I'm going to put them all up here, Dynamax and Gigantamax, not by which one you want to do first, but just my thoughts. Inteleon, here we go. Okay, one of my favorite starters, at least at the final form. I've been trying so hard to get a good one of these, and I just can't. I mean, this one's pretty okay. I got a background 15, 15, 10, I guess, but I am going to wait. This is going to be your best water type attacker for Gigantamax and Dynamax battles, period. Squishy as hell, but it is going to be your best water type for these raids, okay? So you may want to go with that one too, okay? All right, now let's look at all of them, pull up the combat power. So we do have the Metagross, the Latios, the Machamp. Why am I scrolling down here? Okay, I made this Excadrill trade, and I realized, oh, I have 3 powered up already. You can only bring 3 into the battle. Well, wasted that one there. That was on me. I screwed that one up. I just wanted the shiny Dynamax Excadrill. But Metagross, Latios, Machamp, Excadrill, Charizard, Gengar, Snorlax, Blissey, potentially Rillaboom, or Venusaur. I personally go with Venusaur, but you can go with Rillaboom. Rillaboom's doing more. Cinderace is doing more than Charizard, but I personally want to go with Charizard because it's going to be able to take hits a little bit better depending upon what you're going up against. Omnistar, great rock type attacker. It's going to help me do some things with a lot less people, potentially even solo things a lot easier in these max battles. I know that may be a crazy investment for a lot of you, but that's just personally what I did. I didn't lucky trade it, I just did it. But what you're going to focus on is just pretty much your hardest hitters. Your Metagross, your Charizard, your Blissey, your Kingler, your Machamp. Did I say Machamp already? All those hard hitters are what you're going to want to focus on for lucky trades. So that's pretty much what we're looking at here. It's not too complicated when it comes to making the decision to trade one of these because we don't really have an abundance of them. But when you open it up to the rest of the Pokemon here, we're going to go ahead and throw up all of my lucky Pokemon, and then I'm going to scroll all the way down into the Great League so you can see what it took for some of these Pokemon to be maxed out and why you would want to make a lucky trade for a way lower combat power Pokemon, something like a Wobbuffet or a Pachirisu, right? So that's my suggestion here for you all, okay? If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. We're not done yet. We're still going to go through this list here. We still have a couple of more minutes. Now, everything you're going to see here on this list is definitely not something you want to do, and you're going to see quite a bit of duplicates, some that I should be transferring. I don't know why I'm still sitting on them because they're absolutely useless at this point because they came out with bad IVs, and I have no intention of powering them up, or I powered them up back in the day before we did have level 40 to 50 to be able to power them up, and I powered them up to 40 to do particular rates with other people. So I now need to transfer them up, and I powered them up on the spot so we could do the duo. Just, you know, 1 million, 2 million stardust down the drain just to do a quick duo, right? Or maybe even a solo. So I need to get rid of a lot of those. So a lot of these are just for fun. A lot of them were trying to get a good IV. They turned out to be bad, and I just let them sit there. So keep that in mind as well. Things that have Mega Evolutions, Blaziken, Sceptile, those are actually going to be pretty good for you as well. Legendaries, shinies, you know, it really comes down to preference at the end of the day, and then it's also simply just common sense as to what is going to be the best thing to power up. And this is why I'm running through my inventory so you can see exactly what I have powered up, so you can make decisions based upon what I have, so that you can go ahead and do it yourself too. Yeah, so here we go. I mean, there is a crap load of them that I need to transfer that just simply turned out bad. And yeah, it may hurt to transfer a lot of them because they are shiny, but what can I do? What am I going to sit on them for the rest of my Pokemon Go career and never look at them again, or at least use them? So now we're getting into the lower echelons, the lower combat powers. You don't need a lucky Blissey, or that, or this, or this. Sableye, yeah, maybe, but not quite. You can get a good combat product without it having to be lucky and get it almost up to 50, pretty much. I think I have my shadow up to 50 actually. Nothing particularly crazy that you need to be lucky yet. We'll get there in just a minute for the Great League. And did you see that Arbok? That was a legacy lucky. Pachirisu, Slowpoke. You don't want to do slow. That was strictly a fun project, okay? That was simply a joke. And I should max it out just because. So Pachirisu definitely could be one on your list. Wobbuffet, things like that. You want lucky for the lower Great League. That's the things that you're going to want to make potentially lucky with lower combat power. Aside from that, don't waste it unless you're trying to do some sort of like shiny Pikachu costume or shiny costume, whatever, okay? That doesn't have anything to do with PvP or rating. You just want it for your collection. That's your prerogative. But there you have it, folks. Just wanted to throw that list up for you all so you have a little bit of an understanding as to what to go for. Final notes, focus on Dynamax and Gigantamax. If the Dynamax has a Gigantamax, focus on the Gigantamax, okay? It's as simple as that. Anyways, folks, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this video, hit that like button, hit that hype button, and I will catch you all next time. And I want to say one more thing. Thank you all for all the kind words about my new cut. I really appreciate that you are enjoying it. I freaking feel amazing. I don't know what it is, but ever since I had this new hairstyle, I feel like I can just do so much more work. More productive. I feel like fresh. I feel free. I felt like I had freaking bars in front of my face, like I was in jail. Like, let me out, these curl bars. But now I feel like, free. Anyways, thank you so much. Y'all are too kind. Appreciate you. Catch you all next time. Take care.